name is Tori, this is Nova Life, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a super cozy fall book rec video. Now, I will say, I took a picture for my thumbnail with my sweater. Had to take it off, okay? I live in Georgia, and fall does not really begin until like the beginning of October. That's when the seasons really start to change. I will say it is 75 degrees outside and it is the middle of the day. By this point, usually it's 90 degrees. So we're making progress, but I wanted to do a super cozy video for fall book recs. Now, I love fall. Either I'm in the gothic mood, which I've already done a gothic book rec video for you guys. I link it in the cards in the description box below for you. But I love a good, like, cozy book. I love a cute, witchy, cozy, atmospheric, spooky, and that way. I do love a good book like that, and I have some recommendations for you. I pulled some of my absolute favorites that I've read over the years. So I guess you could say these are like my all-time favorite cozy book recommendations, but they're witchy, they're cozy, they're all of the above, and I have a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I do have to recommend, which I would say is like the queen of cozy books for fall, and that is these two by Ashley Poston. So this is The 7-Year Slip and The Dead Romantics. These two are my favorite by her. I read The Dead Romantics I think last year or the year before, and I loved it. In this book, our female character goes to a super small town as she starts seeing the editor of this company that she knows, and he is technically a ghost, and you figure that out. But I really love this one. This one is The 7-Year Slip as well. Our female character, you see that she has inherited her aunt's apartment, and you see that there's this guy that shows up, and she's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you doing here? Like, I rented this out, your aunt let me use it, like, what are you talking about? And so she's trying to figure out who this dude is, where he comes from, all this stuff like that. Like, both of these are just like super atmospheric, spooky. I mean, the yellow and the orange, it's giving fall vibes anyway, but these two are some of my absolute favorites by Ashley Poston, and I loved the atmosphere. Like, it literally, I remember reading these two books and I was just cuddled in bed with the paperback, just like had the aesthetic YouTube videos playing with like the cozy rain sounds, because I didn't have that here yet, but I just loved those. I love books where you can just like cuddle up on the couch in your bed with a blanket, with a cozy blanket, and these two gave those vibes for sure. I really loved it. The next one I have is not necessarily a romance, but I read this last year, which was Cackle by Rachel Harrison. So I actually picked this up at Barnes & Noble because I saw this cover and I'm like, wow, witch, perfect for fall. Loved it. Like, I think I got this last year for my birthday, and I read it last year. She goes to a super small town in Massachusetts after she has this breakup, and you see that there's like things going on in this small town. She's starting to notice things. She's noticing things about the people, about the house that she stays at, and this one specific woman that takes like an interest in her, and she's like, who is this woman? A lot of people like don't want to talk to her in the town, but like I'm, you know, building this friendship with her. And I don't want to say too much, but it's very interesting with this book because it's not necessarily a romance, but I really love the meaning behind this book. It's like a very female centric and about like female things, I guess you could say. I don't know, like female friendships, like going through it, like discovering yourself, all of those things, like what feels right to you versus what other people are saying. Like, I just really enjoyed this book, and it was the perfect like atmospheric book, I will say. I want to read more by this author. I do know she was nominated for a Bram Stoker Award for one of the books called The Return that she wrote, so I definitely want to pick up more by her this fall. Maybe when I go book shopping, I will see what she has to offer, if there's any books by her that I can pick up. But yeah, really enjoyed this one. Another one is a romance, and it is What a Match by Mimi Grace. So I read this last year and I just had the best time. It is like fall in the city. It's cozy, it's adorable. You have these two characters. They are forced to be roommates for a certain amount of time. Like, our female character, her apartment is like has a leak or something, and it's like taking X amount of time to fix it. So she knows someone who knows our main male character, who's like, oh yeah, you can live with him, and he's like, I guess. And so they have this like really interesting friendship that blooms from just being in the same vicinity, and I thought it was super cute. You see that she's just trying to like go on different dates with all these different people to like find her match, basically, and it's just super cute that sometimes like when you're looking for love, like love is actually like right in front of you. That's the moral of this story. It is super short, it's adorable. I think it's available on Kindle Unlimited, and I think the audio is actually coming out soon, but I love this. I mean, look at this cover. If this doesn't scream fall, I don't know what it, well, I don't know what it does, but it does take place, I think, in New York City, if I'm not mistaken, but it is his best friend's sister, so yeah. I love a good cozy romance like that. So if you want one, definitely check out this one. It's one of my favorites. Another cute fall romance that I have is Bright Like Wildfire by Juliet Cross. So Juliet Cross has this small town romance that does take place during fall. It like starts in August. You see our female character, she's a teacher, and it starts when she's going back to school, and then it takes place over the fall and winter. And it's just like super cozy. She talks about the breeze. She talks about like the chill finally hitting Louisiana. She lives in a small town in Louisiana, which I loved. I feel like really any small town romance could be considered cozy and fall and atmospheric like that, but this one specifically starts in August and September, so I thought it would be perfect for you guys to pick it up now. I feel like this is very like an underrated book by Juliet Cross because she does have a Stay a Spell series, which I will be talking about. But yeah, I really love this one. It was a super cute romance. It's like enemies to lovers. There's great banter in here, and I had the best time with this one. Speaking of the Stay a Spell series, I do recommend the Stay a Spell series. I have the first 2 books in paperback. The second book is actually my favorite in the series. This whole series follows a group of sisters called the Savoy sisters, and you see that they're all witches. They all have different like magic powers, like magic, what's the word, specialties, and each book is following one of those sisters, and I love it. It takes place in New Orleans, which is like the perfect like spooky town. Like New Orleans just has those vibes, and I love this. So the first book is Wolf Gone Wild. It's about a wolf who gets stuck with his, like, he can't shift. Savoy's sister that helps him can help him break that curse. The next one is about our female character. She loves like just being in the animal shelter, gardening and stuff like that. And then you have Devraj, our main male character. He's a vampire, and this is my favorite book. It is so swoon worthy. It is so cute. It is so adorable. I ate this book up. So yeah, these 2 are just the first 2 in the series, but I recommend the whole series. It's so atmospheric and I love it so much. That's another one by Juliet Cross that's more like witchy spooky rather than small town. I do want to mention a historical, which really quickly is the It Happened One Autumn by Lisa Kleypas. This is part of the Wildfire series. I did enjoy this one. It's not my favorite in the series, but I wanted to mention it because the step back has a beautiful autumnal step back. That just screams autumn. And now this one, our female character Lillian, she's American and she comes to England. You've seen, like, I would say you technically have to read them in order, but like you don't have to, if you know what I mean. Like you might miss something from other characters, but Marcus is our hero, and he just like is so just over the top English, and she is so not prepared for that. She's like, I can do my own things, and he's like, no you can't, you're a lady, blah blah blah, and she's like, I'm American, I can do my own thing. So I really love this one. I love the banter in this book between our characters because she's American and he's English. He wants to do things more traditional, and she's like, no, screw that, I don't need to do that. So this is one I definitely want to mention. And another one that's kind of like the Ashley Poston is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Even though this cover doesn't scream fall, it is very spooky, and I really enjoyed this book. I think this is one of my first Emily Henry books, and I had the best time with it. I feel like Emily Henry is known for like some of her new books, especially like Funny Story because it's new, but if you want to go back and read some of her backlist, this is the perfect book to pick up during the fall. This one, it takes place in a small town in North Carolina. It starts in August. She goes down there to see her family and stuff like that, like to see her sister and stuff like that. I thought it was super cute. It's one that I just wanted to mention briefly. I feel like not a lot of people are going to pick this one up, but I did want to mention it because it technically does take place during fall. Now I have a couple of like darker, cozy, atmospheric books that I did mention in my Gothic book rec video. Gothicana. This is one that I will reread almost every year since I've read it. I love the atmosphere of this. I love how dark, I love how spooky, I love how creepy it is, and this is like borderline my horror thriller books. Like this is as far as it goes because I'm a scaredy cat, but I did want to mention this one just in case if you haven't picked it up, if you want a little bit more of the darker side of cozy spooky fall. This one's it. I also just finished the Belladonna trilogy by Adeline Grace, so I have all 3 books to recommend. I finished Wisteria in actually my previous weekly vlog, and let me tell you, I had the best time. I actually kind of teared up in the last book, but I love Belladonna. I love this world. I love this story. I love these characters, and it's one that I will definitely be adding to my rotation of rereading. I loved it so much. I can't believe this trilogy is now complete, but I cannot wait to see what Adeline Grace creates. This is like one of the first Gothic romances I read. I read Belladonna last year, and I just, I love these books so freaking much. Like if I could recommend any books to you guys, it'd be these. Like all these covers are so pretty. Like look how pretty. Oh, Look at Wisteria. Oh, I love them so much. Anyway, I wanted to mention them because I'm obsessed with Wisteria, but I feel like a lot of people have read them. But if you haven't, please pick them up. They're cozy, they're creepy, they're the first book technically is the most gothic, but they're atmospheric. They're just, oh, it's just so perfect for fall. Like, I cuddled up in my bed underneath a blanket for all 3 of those books, and I loved that experience. So those are all my cozy witchy books to share with you. You can let me know a book that you're excited to pick up from the ones I recommended, or another cozy witchy book that you have a recommendation for me. Drop it in the comments down below. For the emoji, drop a fall emoji, a pumpkin, drop me a witch or a witch hat. I think that's an emoji. Drop me an orange heart. Drop me all the fall leaves. Drop me any of that in the comments down below. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content for me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys!